Kevin Bradley, as a respected business leader, and now in your capacity as Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of U.S. Steel, you have achieved distinction in your career in the highly competitive business world. You were born and raised in West Orange, New Jersey, and were a first-generation college graduate earning a Bachelor of Science degree in accounting from Montclair State in 1984. Over the past 35 years, you have held a series of positions with increasing responsibility at prestigious companies, including AT&T Capital, GE Capital, and Terex Corporation. In 2017, you assumed your current position as the Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer of U.S. Steel, where you provide financial leadership and oversight to U.S. Steel's global enterprise. 35 years ago, you were a young graduate of Montclair State, just as the thousands are here today. And now, as a proud alumnus of Montclair State, you have actively chosen to give back to your alma mater by serving on the Feliciano School of Business Advisory Board, chairing the Advisory Board's Marketing and Brand Enhancement Committee, and being a generous contributor to the Feliciano School of Business and its faculty, staff, and students. In recognition of your achievements, Montclair State University proudly bestows upon you, Kevin Bradley, the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
Good morning, graduates. Thank you, Board of Trustees, President Cole, parents, family, and friends of the graduates. It's truly an honor for me to be standing here today. I've got to be honest with you. When I was asked to do this talk, I made a rookie mistake. I know it's a fairly heavy Jersey crowd here, so you probably can appreciate this. I went to some of my closest friends and asked for some help, some advice. And there's something about New Jersey, when you go to your friends for advice, it unleashes basically a tidal wave of abuse, verbal abuse, and sarcasm. So I didn't get too much help there, but that's shame on me. Probably the best advice came from my wife, Deb, who's a Bronx-born and pretty direct person, especially with me. She looked at me and said, "Hey, Kevin, I love you, but let's face it, you're no Elon Musk. Make this quick, bring it in under 10 minutes, and let these good people enjoy their Memorial Day weekend." I'm gonna take that you all agree with my wife, Debbie. So let's begin. In 1984, I was sitting in your seat, and I never could have imagined that I'd be in this position today. Other than my decision to marry Debbie and raise 3 unbelievable children, Kevin, Sean, and Madison, my decision to join Montclair was easily the single most fundamental and transformational decision I've ever made. Sitting out there in 1984, I didn't really know what to expect. I lacked perspective in terms of what was to come. But I found out pretty quickly that the time I spent at Montclair had prepared me well for everything I needed to know. So my initial comment to you is, you are ready. You already have everything you need to be successful. Don't ever forget that. My goal for today is to give you a few things that I think will come in handy as you go out and deliberately build your lives and launch your careers. So let's consider this next few minutes one Montclair grad giving some unsolicited advice to a few thousand soon-to-be Montclair grads. The advice begins with a simple request. I'm going to ask every graduate in this arena to focus on becoming great athletes and great bartenders. So this is the part where the families are wondering, did I hear that right? Is he really asking them to become athletes and bartenders? And the answer is yes. Yes, I am. But first I want to touch on two things. I call these my absolute, non-negotiable must-haves. No matter what you do, what you've been studying, you need to focus on these two areas. So let's talk about the values of respect and courage. Respect is so important. Everyone you interact with is entitled to respect, whether it's the CEO of the company or the person serving you lunch in the cafeteria, whether it's the chairman of the board or a new employee who's struggling to take on a task. Treat everyone you encounter with dignity and respect. Always appreciate the differences you find in the people you work with. Differences in thinking, background, culture. Appreciating and leveraging the richness of diversity available in any organization is the easiest way for you to succeed. The other non-negotiable is courage. Every day of your life, you're going to have the opportunity to demonstrate courage. Making tough choices, coming back from failure, standing up for what is right. Courage can also mean acknowledging your own weaknesses, owning them, and addressing them. Throughout your life, you will be confronted with decisions. Those decisions will present risk. Understanding and taking those risks will require courage. As you live your lives and build your careers, you'll begin to understand that without taking risk, there can be little to no reward. You need to be thoughtful when it comes to risk management. But simply avoiding risk will severely limit your full upside potential. Take thoughtful, smart risks and manage them well. I'm asking you to be bold in this area and move forward with great courage. Always remember, you get to choose what you do and where you do it. Make sure the organizations that you choose to be a part of reflect the values that define you as a person. Respect and courage are two of my favorites. So let's talk about being great athletes and being great bartenders and why I think it's so important. A few years back, there was an interesting commercial when Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, retired. It highlighted how some of the details of his training, and the commercial showed the rigor that he went through when he was preparing for competition. At the end of the commercial, the following words appeared on the screen. It is what you do in the dark that puts you in the light. When we saw Michael Phelps at the Olympics, how much did we actually see him in the water? Not very long. But for him to shine in the light, he had to have the discipline and invest countless hours so that he could be ready when his moment came. Great athletes demonstrate common attributes regardless of the sport. They put in the work, they train hard, they make sacrifices for long-term gain. Successful players work on the weakest part of their game. They believe the team is more important than the individual. I never played hockey, but my 3 children did, and I love the sport. One of the things I like about it the most is the concept that the assist is just as important as the goal. It's chemistry and teamwork that wins hockey games. Great athletes find a way to make everybody on the field better. Every organization is looking for the qualities, these same qualities, in the people they hire. They need to attract and retain talent that has the attitude and behaviors found in great athletes. Be that athlete, and you will accomplish incredible things. So why is it so important to also be a great bartender? Well, that's because bartenders have really good social skills. They know how to read people. They're really good listeners. They can command a room when they need to. They have an opinion. They stay current and relevant, and they can share that opinion without alienating anyone. Great bartenders can tell a story. Often your success will be defined not by what you know, but by your ability to excite, motivate, and incentivize people to go for a common goal. Great leaders know how to connect with people because they've mastered the skill of the bartender. So I'm asking you to be great bartenders and differentiate yourself, not only in your career, but throughout your life. In closing, I want to wish you every success in the path you choose. Make sure it's a path that makes you happy and allows you to realize your dreams. Remember, you are ready. You already have everything you need to be successful. I'm sure I'm going to run into a few of you at the Jersey Shore this weekend. No doubt brushing up on your bartender skills. Thank you again. It's been a great honor. Congratulations, class of 2019, and all the people here. Thank you.